Так, запись пошла. Продолжаем исследовать. Так, Dungeons of this game. Уже у нас дождь идет, да. Так. Ну, пойдемте для священника. Вламывать. А, кстати. Надо бы полечиться. Питьевая вода, что им дает? Немного хильнемся. Самую капельку. Нет, тогда бы не было быстрее. В принципе, тут по одному городку побирать не очень-то и сложно. Здорово, корчмарь.
Good day to you.
Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Indeed, there is.
На убийство, да.
You should hear about what Vashek the groom has been up to at the stables. When the head groom told the lads here, they fell off their seats laughing.
Что ты, батя, что я рассказываю?
And that's not all. Just last night, Father Godwin was here, calling fire and brimstone down on old Gertrude, the herb woman. He's not one to make a fuss over some trifle either.
Ну-ка, что тут еще?
Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Nothing out of the ordinary, praise God.
Какие-то тёрки священника с травницей. Опа. Кстати, на карте... Оп. Надо на карте поглядеть, что еще я тут не изучил. Это место. И вот там дальше. Ну, тренируйтесь на мечах. Отец. С удовольствием бы помог вам в вашей практике.
I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
Do you have any work that needs doing?
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. Another pair of shoulders would ease my burden. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who will stoop to anything. like all herbalists for that matter.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being born with 2 heads and a tail.
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me she incited some Ujet's women to witchery.
What do you want me to do?
Ну да, а что я должен
I
делать?
want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about encouraging witchcraft. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out all you can and deal with it.
Ну давайте
It's already
поможем.
done.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always pays his debts. You'll find Gertrude, the old herb woman, in the woods.
My respects to you.
Ебать, я что-то разлучки поменялся.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy.
Boy.
I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
A bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what
Давайте.
Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son, and one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Ну бля.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
But Lubosh is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone of the Holy Church. If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians. Worse than the murderer escaping punishment.
No one escapes punishment.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right? Thank you, Father.
О, да. Ян Гус. Где находится пекарь? Так, все не сегодня на место. Бакалейщик. Хочу сказать, я уже был этого бакалейщика. А, а я был у другого. Ну ладно. Вечер все равно скоро. Так что немножко поисследовать, но не было проблемы. Кстати, не забыл. Как потерять меч? Надо понять, как протирать меч. Тут, наверное, ресталище, да? Или еще что-нибудь из этого. Следующее. Так, пирог. Как протирать меч? Подскажите мне, пожалуйста. Нашел. Сложно пускать стрелы. Сейчас еще я 2 раза попытаюсь начать, так сказать, стрельбу. Мастер лучника, хотите меня немножко пропучать? Я с радостью заплачу.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it.
KCD. Отдашь?
Is this enough?
That's not enough.
Сколько ты скинешь? 4.
All right, sir.
Ну, как раз. Пойти пора почитать. Кстати, у меня баблицка осталась. 400, еще нормально. Так. Пойдем в таверну. Можно сесть почитать или в кости поиграть, что-то из этого. А это как бы уже неплохо. Почти сразу забываю, что никакой тут как бы пили, паны, все. Так. Давайте сядем. Взять с лошади. Лучше эти фрукты лучше лечить. Есть что фруктов. попробуем сейчас. Вот. Ну что, пан монах, уже в корчме, да? Я тут чтением немножко занялся. Тут не против, да.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Максимально коротко,
Oh,
ясно.
I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless.
Честно, что шлем, блядь, полоски, лол.
They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest.
Сидишь в
How did you come to
могилу.
get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch Bernard.
he did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that.
Что-то ты тут слишком много бухаешь.
Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people.
Да, блядь, там
They
пиздец.
would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I
Тогда
haven't
да.
always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled
Fate.
before. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Ну, давай к делу перейдем.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
Что тут делать?
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
Ебать.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical, condemning vices, and of course describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days, and stories from real life with a nice moral to them are popular as well, especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Бля.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started
Топ
preaching in Prague
священник,
in
всем
the Czech
советую.
language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the
Да,
whole of
да, да.
Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful
Да.
horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive fur. While
Блять.
Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head.
Да, да,
Look
да.
to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Бля.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Мне самому понравилось, блядь.
Let's drink to that.
Выпьем.
Funny.
Вот это.
That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
One ale over here, please.
Ну-ка.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Ну, бля, баба, это да, это нормально.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In
Бля,
a few
топ.
years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Кек. О, довольно
Thanks for the
походу.
sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough.
Я так не пью и вот не
It's
ебусь,
getting quite late.
к сожалению.
What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ну, давайте.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Бухаю со священником. Так и знаю, что уровень пьянства подниму.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żaden
Гляди, топ, пацан, вот тут расследует убийство. Все, короче.
Na kraj panuje sej smutek, do dnielo i rano utek, niech ich małżeński majstrat, do wczera żylne staje brak. Už sej moji svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich učit. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si umí jako poslední jen. Půjďme se vámi, panorama stávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sen, tak posaď se sen a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako kozy, zítra jen tu soudnej den, tak ďalej mi hned, ať točí se svět.
Ну кто кого, блядь, сила у меня качана. Е-бой. Веселуха.
Enough of this.
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Я выйду сам. Можно под ручки не вести, я сам выйду. Если я, конечно, сейчас способен ходить.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Ебать. Ну давай. Коль не шутишь. Меня зовут Генри-Пьяный кулак. Просто, блядь, убийство нахуй произошло в глазах у удивленной публики.
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry. Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
Say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me?
Ну давай.
What's the step?
И шо? Какой-то пьяный кутеж, блядь.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Бля, я понял план.
Do this, Henry?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ебать. Жалко мне тебя, мужик.
Ah, bloody hell.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Ну, это пиздец, конечно.
Got him, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Будет мини-игра. Или, к примеру, там я, блядь, типа. Сука. Так. Ну вот вроде все. Так. Я же апнул, да, вообще. Так. Давайте вот это. Звук залагал. Чайно. Хранитель.